Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, your host, Luckymarine, and I would like to start this episode off by saying a big thank you to Quentin, who commented on the last video and said that pretty much essentially this is working what we had going on here. Getting the steam, yeah. When we have these condensers running this, getting the steam out of this room and then putting it into a separate room would allow the steam to condense on its own in this room into fresh water, and then you pump the water out. Now I'd put it into like this little enclosed space, and we couldn't tell if we were getting fluid or not. So that's going to be today's, well, task really. We're going to create a separate room under here. We'll mop out all the contaminated water, and we are going to allow the steam to condense in this room. Let's see what kind of temperatures we've got going on. Yeah, temperature's not too bad. Are we actually? Because I did comment and say that I'd try and border some of basalite because it's naturally cold. So if we could have like the floor, if we could have the floor of the room where the steam cools on the basalite, or maybe a little bit and a little bit of the wall as well, then maybe, I don't know if the cool of the basalite bleeds through like heat does. Like we've got heat coming through. I don't know, maybe we'll give it a go. We'll dig out a room here. Let's just spitball a little bit. So we'll dig out a room. Like that. So it'll have one whole edge that's cooled, almost the entire bottom. Cooled. We'll no. Let's not tile the edges. Let's just leave it like that and dig out the interior. So steam falls directly on the minus 272. Our dupes aren't going to really be in here, so well, what do I care? What do we care if our dupes are going to be in there with the jagged basalite on their precious feet? It would run in a high stress colony. We'll put a manual airlock there when we can. Yeah, we'll do that. We will test out. No, I've got full faith in I've forgotten the name already. I have forgotten the name already. That is terrible of me. Quentin. I have full faith in what Quentin has said, and we probably won't have to put it through these coolers now. And actually, we could probably pump the steam straight into this room. But yeah, we'll try and prioritize that for this episode. And we're also watching here to see which one, to see which battery discharges quicker. One research table is turned on, one research table is turned off, and we were trying to find out, is it worth turning your research tables off when you're not using it? So we set up one single battery, fully charged, connected to one single research bench, one turned on, one turned off, and then totally disconnected the power. So this is all they have, and for the moment it looks like it doesn't matter if it's turned on or turned off. Now that's the kind of min-max thing that I've been doing all this time. I was like, well, if I'm not using the research bench, then I'll turn it off and it won't use power. But it looks like it doesn't matter. Which is quite... I don't know how I feel about that. There is no discernible difference at all. Actually, these batteries, they say that they lose charge over time. Stores a bit of runoff power from the generators, but loses charge over time. This isn't losing charge over time. This isn't losing charge over time. I wonder if it's because it's separated from the system itself. If so, if that's the thing, if separating batteries from the main system stops them from discharging over time, as it were, then you could create a battery bank and preserve the power in that battery bank by just disconnecting the power and then plug it in when you need, maybe at night time if you're running a power intensive system. I also found, holy moly, 926 degrees 0.8 Celsius. There's lava that's cooler than this. It's just, what is going on? So a vacuum. How the hell have we done this again? How the hell? I don't even know how we're doing this. Can someone please, somebody, anyone, tell me how we're creating a vacuum in this room and how we can use it to our advantage. It's got to be good for something. Anyway, yeah. So when we expand this room a little bit, I think we're gonna have to move our storage compactor somewhere else. I don't know. We will move it somewhere else. We might even dig it further into the wall and push it over the edge into the hydrogen. We'll expand a little bit further and we'll move this hydrogen generator down into this room. Now the hydrogen generator doesn't like being sat in water. I don't know what this bubble thing is doing here. I mean, I don't know. Some of the fluid mechanics in the game are a bit weird. But let's get that door in now. About there. As and when we can. And dig all this out. And we'll make this a priority of 9. Yeah. So when we expand this room a little bit, we'll have to put our hydrogen generator on like a little pedestal of its own, with probably sat on a bit of a mesh tile, and so it's up and out of any water that might accumulate in the bottom. And we swept this room. We swept this room when we were doing the pump stuff down here. Now sandstone has come from disassembling the insulate tile and such, but this dirt shouldn't be here. But this dirt has come from when you split contaminated water, it splits off into steam and it leaves behind dirt, which is an interesting thing. I don't know what we're going to do with the dirt, but it means the process is working, so that's good. We also need some kind of flow regulator to sort of flow rate coming out down into this room itself. So we can take this liquid filter out entirely now. We only had it in because we were getting water in here. I didn't know how we were getting water in here, so we put the liquid filter in just to filter the water back, but that's not needed. So let's get rid of the liquid filter and the associated liquid pipes. Alright. Tidy things up a little bit. So, from our pump in the poopy water, we'll pump poopy water up, and we'll have a flow regulator here, and we'll control the flow until we've got it turning into steam straight away. The steam will get pumped out. I don't even think we'll need the steam to be cooled down. I think we could end up pumping it straight into our cool box. What's the gas flow like around here? So yeah, the steam gets split off there. Instead of the steam split off there and going that way, we'll have the steam split off and go this way and into. Well, we'll keep the coolers around for the time being. Wow, breathable oxygen, is that? Not really. We do need our hydrogen pocket dug out there, I suppose. We'll turn these off now. Long-term goal, we will need to put a filter in there to siphon off any breathable oxygen, because hydrogen generator, it doesn't care. It doesn't care what gets put in there. It will burn absolutely everything. So we'll go with that. Mildred, you better not get stuck. Game, please don't get stuck. Not after I've explained all this. Come on, I'm excited. Alright. Let's have a quick look at our batteries. 10,000 joules, 10,000 joules. Let's have a look at these batteries. So these do decharge, but it's at the moment it's the hydrogen generator that's making them, that's topping them up. But these do decharge because they're linked into the system. These don't, because they're not linked into the system. So if you want to save energy, if you want to create a lot of energy, put batteries, have a big battery room, and then disconnect them, you'll save all that energy, and you can store it for a time when you might be struggling. And then instead of having 4 people on wheels, you can just connect your batteries in. You can go off digging something else or doing other work, and you can use it as a rechargeable battery bank. That's an interesting concept. We may have to deal with that at some point. We'll have to test it out. No problems with carbon dioxide. Apparently, the mechanics of the game, carbon dioxide falls and goes to the right, whereas contaminated hydrogen rises and goes to the left. That's just how it's programmed in. So we'll probably end up putting. There is no need for this. No, we're putting our room up here. We're putting the cool room up here. We'll have to block this off somehow, just to stop the gas buildup. We just got carbon dioxide here constantly, and we don't need it here. We need it dropping to the bottom of the base. So let's not put permeable tile down here. Let's get rid of just the building there, and then we'll put a manual airlock with your damn vents, and then we'll put a manual airlock in there. That's gonna annoy the hell out of me. Well, no, that's just gonna let the gas straight through, isn't it? Well, the door won't. And if it's dropping to the bottom and then creeping up, then the door blocks. We'll see. We'll see if it works. It can. If it doesn't, we'll change it out. And if it does, then happy days. Alright, so we also have our meal boxes done. Our ration boxes done, even. Which means that now when we do a harvest, the food will actually get stored this time. That's alright, you can vomit all you want. It's fine. It's fine. How are we getting on here? Well, yep, you can vomit as well. Manual airlock. What's the temperature in here? Now the temperature, it's two sides of this room are minus 272 degrees Celsius. This should be a rather cool room. I might actually leave that in actually. Actually. Wow. Leave that in. Contaminated water. Yeah, we'll mop out this contaminated water as well. So you've got almost three sides of this room. Days at minus 272 degrees Celsius. If we move the door in one, but that's just being finicky. We'll get some gas piping in there. Right, out of this end. I'm making it out of obsidian, aren't I? All the time. All the time. I just get carried away. Right. Make it out of... go on then. Out of granite. No, not this. This. So out of this side. And then into the centre of the room. Top of the room even. We should put it at the bottom. Because steam will instantly want to rise. So if we feed it in at the bottom, it just has further to go. And the cool might drop to the bottom, but then it'll get blocked by the amount of fluid that's down here. And of course it will. Alright, we'll feed it in about midpoint. Best of both worlds. And at the end, where I think it's going to be coolest, so around here. That should be quite cool. It should be. You'd hope. You'd think. Maybe. Perhaps. Should this be thermal tile? Try keep some of the cool in. Thermal tiles should act both ways. Like a thermos flask. Whatever cool stuff you put in stays cold. Whatever hot stuff you put in stays hot. So we'll keep the cool in. And we need to prioritise that as well. Oh no. And thermal that as well. If we deconstruct the gas piping there, and we need a valve, liquid valve. Nice to be turned upside down, isn't it? Because we've got the fluid coming in from this end. In, outlet. Okay. I'm up there. Yeah, I know. There's no point in doing it because you're just going to vomit again, aren't you? But let's see if you can get it done. Unreachable. Alright, let's get a ladder up and running. No thermal tile there. Unreachable? Yep. Now this basalite that's in lumps on the floor should also do a decent job of cooling, you'd think. You'd hope. Deconstruct you. Come on, finish that before you wee yourself. Or you vomit. And deconstruct you. You can't get to these, can you? Damn you. Dig out the rest of that copper, because that'll be useful. Where are you going now? Oh, I found. Right, so this bath light that's been left on the floor is still at minus 272 degrees Celsius, so it should do a job of more cooling. You would hope, you would think, maybe. I don't know. Still don't know how we've managed to make a vacuum in there. Absolutely baffles me. Anyone ideas? Anyone? Or does anyone know what we can use the vacuum for? Because we're obviously capable of making it now. We'll do some harvesting in the morrow. These are now growing. Superb. We've still got a bit of digging out to do. Quite a lot of digging out to do, actually. Cancel you for now. But we'll get to you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will probably be... Ooh, we'll plumb this in first. Plumb in that end, out that end. We will deconstruct liquid pipes. There. So we can control the flow, regulate the flow of liquid into this room. I think too much liquid hitting this room, you end up with a puddle on the floor, and the batteries aren't really good at dealing with bigger bodies of water. They're really good at dealing with dripping water. So that should be that, and we'll move this, make it bigger, bring the hydrogen generator down, because that is producing a metric fuck ton of heat. I think that's the technical term, actually. 926 degrees Celsius. That is hotter than... Yup. And... Yup. Only 126 Celsius. Only 126 Celsius. Wow. Well, vacuums. Vacuums are pretty cold, aren't they? Alright, so we have our condensing chamber pretty much finished. We have it linked into our system. So oxygen comes out, steam continues on, and steam now, instead of going out this way, goes out the other way, and it'll enter our condensing chamber. Once we see this properly making water, which is why I moved the door up, once we make this properly making fresh water and have confirmed that it works, I have every faith that this is going to work, then we'll chuck a pump in here and we'll pump the fresh water back into our freshwater tank, and that will be us getting fresh water and dirt from contaminated water, but without using sand. Sand, obviously, as I've said many times, being the finite source on these maps. If we can keep our 61 tons of sand, then I'll be happy. Alright, and the batteries seem to be still... Yeah, so it doesn't matter at all whether you turn your research bench on or off. They use or they don't use just as much power. We can't give them a feed, because they'll just continue to recharge. So yeah, don't bother turning your research benches off, because it really doesn't matter. And we'll deconstruct the wires along here, because that's just annoying me now, as is this. Alright, and that will be us for this episode. I've been Luckymarine. As always, you have been amazing. Join me and the gang. Get to bed, guys. Ah, game, come on, please. Please don't hang. Don't hang this much. Where is everyone? Go, Floyd. Get yourself to bed. Come on, boy. There we go. Alright, so, from Floyd, from Mildred, from Ming Mai, and from Lenny, good night. And do take care.